Welcome to Sea Talk, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. We love to bring brands like AG Barr, Rubicon Raw, and retailers together, which is what we're going to do today. We've got Adrian with us. Adrian, do you want to say hello and tell us who you are and give us a bit of background?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Adrian. I'm the marketing director at Barr Soft Drinks. I've been with Bars for 16 years now, so a very long time. And here to talk about Rubicon Raw and convenience. We launched it last year, early last year. So we're about 18 months in the market now, and it's so far going very well. It's a hugely exciting category, as you guys will all know. Energy drinks. It's the most buoyant part of the overall sort of soft drinks market, and just so important in the convenience channel. We've had a good start. We sold we've sold about 16 million cans so far, and just in context, in convenience, for us, convenience is effectively about over 80% of our sales. So convenience is so important to the category and to Rubicon Raw as a brand. So we've made a good start. We are sort of pleased with how we're developing, but it's all about developing a lot of the fundamentals for the long term with a brand that's fundamentally a bit different. All our work before we brought the brand to market was all about the opportunity to provide something different that wasn't another of these maybe sort of quite dark, maybe quite sort of masculine brands, and some of the sort of that appealed to a lot of maybe the stereotypes around energy drinkers. And I think we've successfully done that. And our data would say that we're actually bringing a lot of new people into energy drinks, and maybe a lot of people who've sort of grown up with energy drinks but have moved on because the brands really aren't quite right for them. We've brought a lot of them back in again. So, a really good positive start, and really excited to hear everybody's first-hand thoughts from the call on Rubicon Raw, and maybe what we can do to help drive it forward.
Well, before we get to that, I think we're actually going to turn the spotlight on you a little bit and maybe ask you a few questions. So hopefully you were expecting that.
Sure.
I know, Anand, let's bring you in. Could you do a quick intro? And I think you might have a question for Adrian.
My name's Anand Imtiyaz. I've got a store in Falkirk. I'm trading under the Cost Cutter brand. I deal a lot with AG Barr and have done for a number of years. Quick question on Rubicon Raw, and specifically to the category. There's a lot of innovation in the energy category at the minute. So why should retailers stock Rubicon Raw as a brand and have the multiple cans included in the fixture?
Well, that's a good question to kick off with, Anand. The first thing to say is that, and you'll know it from your data, but in convenience, 1 in every 3 soft drinks sold now is now an energy drink. Yeah. So we've got this sort of massive expansion in the category, and interestingly, despite maybe some of the challenges that we are sort of seeing in overall sort of market volumes, there's a lot of pressure on people's sort of pockets these days. Energy drinks, more than any of them, is the category that just is so much more resilient to all of those changes. So the category is growing, and as the category grows, people need choice, and that for me is not just about flavor choice, because we recognize that many of the other big brands in the category have lots of flavors, but it's also about brand choice as well. Our brand is different. It appeals to yes, it appeals to people who drink sort of the big can energy drinks, but it's just got a broader appeal because it's less dark. It's it is more colourful and it's a bit friendlier, but it's also definitely the core product sort of truth in Rubicon Raw is that it's based on that 20% juice product, which makes it a more natural sort of product proposition. And certainly when we talk to consumers, that's really sort of the key reason, why they buy into it. It's just that little bit healthier, that little bit less artificial than some of the other big brands that are in the market already.
Very good. Imtiyaz, introduce yourself, please, fella.
Hello, hi, and Adrian. This is Imtiyaz from Which Lane Premier. We are trading with the Premier at the moment. And my question is, how are you supporting the product in store?
We are endeavouring to do a lot. Imtiyaz, as I've said before, the convenience channel is so important because fundamentally it's where energy brands make or break. On the brand overall, we've done a lot of work at a consumer level focused around different sort of sports pastimes out there, sort of in nature, be they around hiking or be they around sort of surfing. And we've just actually done a big piece on that, for example, with Boardmasters. And one of the things that we recognise that how we can bring the brand alive and store at point of purchase is really key to that. So, over the year we've worked with those themes to develop points of sale and promotions and such. Like we've done a lot. For example, with Boardmasters to bring in that theme and and offer promotions, etc., that sort of drive the visibility. We've also put a lot just into the product messaging on 20%. We recognise more than anybody, particularly with the scale of some of the brands and energy, that a consumer who walks in can be hit with this wall of energy drinks, and it's really important for Rubicon Raw that we stand out and we make ourselves visible in that environment. So that the use of point of sale, we have put a lot into semi-permanent trays, for example, as well. But I guess it's just about sort of the consistency of this support and recognizing the consumer choice that's there and our requirement to stand out in the environment.
Natalie, let's bring you first time on Sea Talk. It's very lovely to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Who are you though?
Who am I? Okay, so ironically, I have a store in Glasgow, even though I'm not Scottish.
Yeah.
I have Londis in Baillieston, in the East End of Glasgow. I've been trading for 15 years and been with Londis for maybe the last sort of 6, 7. So AG Barr has been very much part of our history.
Yeah, of course.
I had to have a quick question for you, if I may. It is, what do you think is next for the energy category?
Yeah, Natalie, I think the energy category is just so exciting. It is just sort of full of energy, literally. We've had so much development of range, and even if you think both in terms of flavors, but also in terms of brands, as just as the category grows and people are looking for more choice. We've obviously had the likes of Lucozade Alert and Boost flavors. There's been so much competition, which I think ultimately is sort of good for retailers and good for consumers as well in a category that's growing as fast as this. Very clearly, I think a lot of a lot of the growth will continue to be around new flavors, and they just sort of generate so much of the volume, and the bulk of the growth in the market over the last few years has been there, and we'll continue to see that. I think the area that might be a little bit more interesting over the next 2 to 3 years is, and it's certainly somewhere where we will look to go, is around the areas of no added sugar and low calorie products, where typically it's been the low calorie products sell, but they are a much more important part of the mix in grocery. But I do think as consumer needs change, it's probably one of the next stages of the evolution of the market into that as well, probably on a flavor basis. And I say that's something that we're looking very hard at the minute.
Good man, Adrian. Hopefully you feel suitably interrogated. I think it's only fair while we're here if you've got anything you want to run by us.
It's just a general question. Just two questions really. One, just what are your general observations of energy drinks and how they're sort of performing in your store in general, and then just secondly, maybe a little bit more specifically about how we as Barr, and how we can help you a little bit more to be more successful with Rubicon Raw.
Anand, I'll bring you in on that. You can have a go at that one.
Yeah, no problem. So I think the introduction of the new flavor, I think it was kiwi, and I can't remember the second ingredient, but the new flavor sorry, that was apple and guava. I knew it was an exotic fruit like guava, but kiwi came to mind with the green. But with the introduction of that new flavor that came in, I think it really helped your brand, because with the 3 original flavors that came into the foray about a year ago, I think it just needed another boost. Orange and mango performs the best out of the first 3 for me in store, but it just needed that bit of injection of life again. Monster continuously doing it, which are probably the brand leaders, so they're always chopping and changing the flavors, and that's what we try to do, is keep our category and fixture in the store fresh. So I really quite like that from you guys, and I'd like to see that continued going forward. Is bringing in new flavors, so we can swap in, swap out, and then even increase as well on your specific brand.
Okay, great. Thank you for that.
Imtiyaz, your thoughts on the category and then Rubicon Raw and
yes. What made you decide to come into energy drink?
Because it's a very fast-growing sector of the market. We operate as a business across most sectors of soft drinks, and with the likes of Rubicon Raw, we've got a brand that can work and just offer something different in that category. So we've done we look over the last 12 months in convenience alone, we've sold over 10 million pounds worth of products. So we're relatively small in the market at the moment. Okay. But as with Iron Brew and fizzy drinks and such like, or Rubicon in still drinks, we offer something. With each of what we do, we offer something different to the consumer, and that's very much what we do with Rubicon Raw. We are definitely different to Monster, and we are definitely different to Red Bull. And and our objective is to try and bring people into the markets that those brands can't attract in the same way. And and certainly our numbers would say that we are. These are big brands that we're competing against, but we can offer something genuinely different for consumers. We think that's what we're about.
Natalie,
Yeah.
Before I do, your thoughts on the category and how Rubicon Raw is doing and stuff.
I mean, on the category as a whole, interestingly, energy drinks do very well in our store. We've got a massive 3.75 meter deck, so we've got all the bev track with the energy drinks taking up a huge portion of that. We've actually found a bit of an increase in our energy drinks and our overall soft drinks since COVID. I don't know whether that's attributed towards home delivery or not. In the convenience sector, that we've grown from 8% to 13% of our overall sales as soft drinks. So we've noticed a shift in trend of people buying multiples of drinks as well. So it's not just the individual single purchase now, which I think really energy drinks sort of lent towards at the beginning. It was something somebody would just buy one can and go. But yeah, the multi-packs are doing really well at the moment in store for the ones that we have access to, which is the own brand, like Euroshopper and the Monster 4-packs. So something that I think would probably work well across the board and would give people the extra option would be if it was like flashed with a 2 for £2, some sort of multi-deal on them to encourage, because things like that we can put on our delivery platforms, that naturally has that sort of add to basket, and the volume starts going up, and people are definitely a bit more attracted to the multi-packs, I think. So
it's a great shout. Thank you. So, Adrian, what is next for you guys? You've mentioned ambassadors. You've got some feedback from us on that's the multi packs and other stuff. What actually is next?
Well, as I say, ambassadors are a big part of the plan, and that we're just about to. That team is just about to go live. We're just on all of the work that we've done sort of so far in establishing the brand and the image and the usage around the brand is sort of focused around sort of hiking and surfing, and we're just about to move into our third sport, which is cycling. So that's coming in quite a big way. And it'll be quite, because it's so open to sort of so many sort of consumers, and we'll be doing lots of media on that front, lots of work with influencers, but we can really pull that down into how we support at store level. The team have just developed say for example win a mountain bike promotion, which is a consumer promotion on a text to win, that we will be working with point of sale kits, really, again, and just distributing those, and the opportunity to take those to, again, it's just all about sort of the visibility. So yeah, it's we've doubled our investment this year on Rubicon Raw, and we'll continue to grow, and it's just it's a lot of it is about getting the the basics right of the the visibility of the range, the visibility in store, and what's a very, very sort of crowded fixture, but also working outside of the store to to create the demand for consumers to go into store as well, and to pick up.
Can I make
that
a point?
Reminds me, Adrian, before we go, yeah, go for it. Natalie, over to you.
A valid point about how it's a crowded fixture, and although in our store, I'm like, you give me a new product, I'll put it in there. I'm somebody that will just get on the piggyback on any sort of hype. That's very, very hard to convince a retailer. I think that's what Imtiyaz was saying, that it's very hard for a retailer, even if it is however much the case is, to convince them to put a new case of something into your store. So it needs something. It needs either this in-store activation, or it needs, like, we don't often believe suppliers and reps, because we know that they're just trying to sell something. When they and they're like, oh, we've got this massive campaign out, it's cost X amount of money, everybody's drinking it. I think it's things like, if it's on the ad break for Love Island or like, X Factor or something like that, we'll believe that perhaps, but it's hard to see. It has to sometimes come when the customers come in and start asking for it. But the TikTok is that's where people are coming in, and when multiple people come in and asking for stuff that they've seen on there, that's where it's so most powerful, I think.
Yeah, there's been such a change in media habits, particularly with young folk and some of the channels that you say. That's where we put a lot, and I do agree. We even get it in our own business. Sometimes these things are difficult to see because they're not the channels that so many people are sort of look at. But the one good thing that sort of comes from all the digital work that we do, and I remember we spoke about it, last year. All of those assets that we've got, are there and open to be used, and we can support through every store's own social channels and everything to promote the brands. There's a lot of material there that can help promote online, for you guys as well as offline. So if it's we know that's a growing part of everybody's own sort of marketing plans, and hopefully we can support that as well.
To tell you, most people at Sea Talk have wasted many hours on TikTok and watching Love Island.
Yeah.
The importance of these things to the world now is absolutely immense. Any final thoughts from anyone?
Yeah, I've got two questions. One's more commercial, one's more generic. The commercial question is, I don't really throw figures out there, but I believe Rockstar was around about a third of your overall wholesale sales. Has Rubicon Raw filled that void that was left? And then secondly is, why do energy drink companies always target extreme sports to promote their product? Is there anything else, any other channels that you're looking to go and push that on, as Natalie kind of touched on there?
Great.
Yeah, both good questions. Ultimately, energy. You always sort of talk about energy brands as sort of being lifestyle brands, and it's about it is all it as much as it's about products that people like. It's creating an image around that people can associate with, and sort of feel that the brand is actually just sort of a lot closer to them. So it's a lot about trying to build the associations with with what the brand is about. Do we we take a sort of a slightly different tack to that. We are into sports, but they're all outdoors. And they're all things that we put a lot into, sort of hiking and the great outdoors, which is sort of something that everybody can do. Encourage everybody to do that. But beyond that, we've spoken about sampling. We did a massive piece, over the final quarter of last year on student sampling, which was just getting the product out there in a different way that's not necessarily associated with sort of sports, but it's much more around the product, and we're going to continue to do that. But so ultimately, it's about building the associations and the imagery on those occasions where people need energy. On your second question, Anand, about sort of filling the gap. Rockstar was an interesting brand for us, and Rockstar took a real turn downwards when Monster launched its first flavors into the market, sort of several years ago, and it probably would have been not far short of a third of our sort of wholesale business, but Monster and the development of their new flavors probably took a third out of Rockstar sales. within their first year in market. So the scale of Rockstar did reduce. Now we're well on the way to covering that gap with Rubicon Raw. We're not there yet, but we're making really good progress on it. But for us being an own brand and the benefits of coming with an AG Barr brand rather than a partnership brand where we've got more control over what we do, where fundamentally the profitability is shared. The profitability is it's between us and the retailer as opposed to us, a third party in the retailer. So there's lots of other financial advantages, but we're well on the way to the scale that Rockstar was for us, and we believe we can get we can surpass that as well.
Look, it just leaves me to say thank you for everyone, from myself and Adrian and the Raw team and the Sea Talk team for coming on today. So thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to pull up the final screen, but just stay there. But thanks ever so much again.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.